Ladies and gentlemen, Ritter SC2 is back, and he's back with a vengeance. Now, today, and now, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, but we've got something special, as you see here, and as you see here. This is a video of a game that I played just recently. This is in high platinum, and I'm taking this new approach to sort of explain the mindset, I guess I should say. Because with all the other games, it seems like I don't know the mindset. With pro games, at least, watching those, you know that they're going to be doing something very specific, and they're going to be following a strict game plan. But at these lower levels, it can be easy to get sort of sidetracked, get distracted, get thrown off, and then what do? You're confused, and it can screw up the mindset. And if I cast one of my own games, I feel like I can avoid that distraction of wondering what this person's trying to do. And as you'll see here, I can sort of better explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and point out all of the horribly crucial mistakes that I make and my opponent makes. So as we can see here in the bottom left-hand corner of Xelnaga Caverns, the oldest map in the map pool, I believe. It's the classic. It's a very small map, and my opponent across the way, it's a two-player map, is CelestialArm, who is this Terran player, the red Terran. And as you can see here, I'm just doing the standard stuff, chrono boosting my Nexus right after my pylon finishes, and then after my gateway finishes. And I'll be trying to throw down another pylon at 16. Got my gas up, standard stuff, the standard opening. And I tried to send my probe in here to scout things out, but he dropped down this supply depot right here, which prevented my probe from entering. So I'm just going to push up here and try and, pester the supply depot as much as I can, but because his barracks is almost complete, I'll be able to swing that SCV around to start building that, and my probe won't be able to do anything. As we can see down here, I'm throwing down my cybernetics core. And across the way, he's getting up a gas, two gas actually, which means he's probably going to be doing some heavy teching. We'll have to see what he does. I mean, scouting out what he's planning to do with that gas is crucial, and because obviously I didn't see it because he prevented me from getting in, I have no clue. I just sent my probe down here to tag this watchtower, so anytime he pushes out with anything, I'll be able to see it. And I think because of the AI on Xelnaga Caverns, if he right-clicks with unit from his base over to my base, it's going to travel down this right path right here. So I like to tag that watchtower first. And as we look over here, I drop down this pylon, so I don't get supply block to 26. I used to get supply block there all the time. And at this point, I'm planning to go for a one-gate expo. I feel like it's a easy-to-defend build against anything that he can do, except for some, early 3 racks or something like that. And I just push out with my stalker here to try and get a little bit more information. My Nexus went down. As we look over here, he's building his factory, which would be pretty crucial for me to scout that, which means he's probably, trying to tech up really fast, trying to do maybe some sort of like super early drop or the dreaded 111. I still haven't scouted his 2 gas, but I push up here with the stalker and see that he's got that factory. So I know he's probably going to be doing something. As inexperienced as I am, I instantly suspect the 111, the dreaded 111 that everybody talks about. And so I just continue on with what I'm doing. I drop down my another 2 gateways, so I'm up to 3 gates. Just getting out my sentry and continue to build probes. My stalker and my probe are just chilling out at the Xelnaga tower here, and he's continuing on with his little 111 dealy. It's he's getting siege mode. He's getting out of siege tanks. He's continuing to get out marines. I push up here with my stalker again, just to get a little bit more information. It's very risky, especially if he's got, marauders with concussive. That stalker's pretty much dead. But I wasn't really that worried, as I probably should have been. So my Nexus just finished, and what I actually read from a bunch of sources is that it's often better to get your first base saturated and then rally both of your worker-producing buildings over to your natural. And because I was slightly oversaturated, I sent a few extra. But that's actually a more economic way to transfer probes, is to get one base saturated and then transfer by way of rallying your both nexuses to the minerals. And as we can see here, I dropped down my robo because I was worried about the 111. I wanted to get some immortals to combat the siege tanks. And I just, continue to warp in some stuff as I have the resources and the supply. Over here on his side, he's getting out his Banshee. He's now building Hellions, which I guess because he was worried about the Zealots, but it just doesn't seem like a solid, I guess I should say, a solid 111, unless he's going for Blue Flame or something. But he's got his siege tank sieged up here. He's continuing to get out Marines and then Marauders because he got the tech lab. And down here he dropped down another barracks. Up at his starport he's building a Raven, which can be problematic. With its point defense drone, basically stops stalkers from being, effective against just about anything. And the first thing I did out of my robo was chrono boost out 2 observers. I wanted to have one to sort of see what he was doing and one in my base, in case he hit me with cloaked banshees or something. And as we can see here, I'm just continuing to get workers, and I'm vastly ahead of him in workers. It's kind of obscene. He stopped making workers, and so I'm way ahead of him. And his 111 is quite delayed, I would think. He's continuing to get out all this stuff, and I come in with my observer here, and sort of just try and poke in around here, as we'll soon see, because I just, I wanted to find out exactly what he was doing. And I didn't realize this Raven was here. And as we can see here, these little Marines derping around, patrolling, and my observer was not picked off. I managed to get it out of there when I saw the Raven. And then my other observer I just had patrolling out here in case he swung around with cloaked banshees or something. And now he's getting Blue Flame. So maybe that was a little bit effective. I don't think I noticed it when I was playing. I guess I was in the heat of the moment. But I'm just continuing to pump out probes and chrono boost out immortals as best I can. I forget to keep on building every now and then, and as you can see, my my minerals and gas are starting to increase a little bit. It's bad of me, but again, on his side, he's also got lots of minerals and lots of gas. I feel like this push should have come a lot sooner. He would have had a much better chance at being effective with it earlier. But as we can see here, he's pulling off SCVs and just chilling them here. Again, another little mistake by him. Just, I guess, a new player or new to the 111. But I'm getting another immortal, and I have another one queued up. You don't want to sit things in the queue for too long. I mean, obviously that's a sort of newbie type thing, but you don't want to have them queued up. As you can see, I waited till it was almost done to put another one in, just so you don't have the downtime of those minerals just sitting there, not doing anything. And I also dropped down the Robo Bay because I had the resources and because I couldn't produce anything faster, and I didn't want to drop down my gateways just yet because I knew his attack was coming. So basically, he's sitting here. I can't see it yet, but I knew I had to push out and hit him before he got to me, before he could set up outside my base, do bunkers and that. So I force field here. The Zealots rushed in, tried to take out as much as I could. I used my mortals to focus down the tanks, and then just tried to, after my Zealots died, do a little stutter step and pull back. But he had a lot of stuff, so I warp in more stalkers because I was worried about the Banshees. In retrospect, I probably should have gotten more Zealots, but you know, it ended up working out okay. He dropped down the auto turret. I should have focused on that Raven, but basically my Immortal came out just in time, and it looks like I pretty much held off, for the most part, the 1-on-1. He's got some stuff left, and he's got these sitting here, which was a mistake by him. But my second warp-in should clean this up nicely. Tried chasing this Banshee, but it looks like it's gonna escape, yep. And as we can see here, now I dropped down the gateways. I figured, you know, I probably should have done it sooner, especially, you know, look at that, 1,000 minerals. But again, on his side, he still doesn't have an expo up. I didn't know it, but I assumed he didn't just because of the 1-1-1. And he's got stuff everywhere. And because of those SCVs lost in the fight, the difference is now even higher. It's kind of obscene. But he's continuing to produce as best he can, and I'm trying to recover as best I can from losing basically almost my entire army in that attack. But considering this, you know, that I had the expansion up and I managed to defend it and didn't lose all that much, I was leagues ahead. Now with my stalkers, I'm just trying to pick off these rocks so I can take a base, because I have all of these minerals. I'm not going to be able to spend them, even with, you know, constant production out of my warp gates. because of my bad macros. So I figure, you know, why don't I throw those minerals into a base? And he's got the same idea over here. He's got his expansion building, and I'm just continuing to build Colossus and get the Colossus range upgrade. I have one Colossus out, got a couple Stalkers, and just continue to warp in. I should have put another pylon up here. You know, you don't want to have all of your warp ins being in the back. You know, it saves you a lot of time, a lot of hassle if you can just move right here and warp in all you can right here in the front of your base. I drop down my Nexus, and he is almost finished with his command center, and he's just continuing to produce out of these. He's not building any more production facilities. He's just sort of trying to catch back up after his failed attack, and he's got quite a lot of stuff queued up. Not in the starporter's factory, but in this barracks particularly. And my observer here was able to scout that he had the expansion, and scout that, you know, he's building, or he's keeping his army right here. So I knew I wasn't worried about an attack. So, and there's the Russian voices that I've switched it to after watching White Raw's stream. Somehow I knew White Raw would make it into this cast. White Raw is basically my hero. If any of you want to learn about, you know, some awesome Protoss, awesome special tactics, I highly recommend you check out White Raw's stream, or any of White Raw's games. And as you can see here, he's sort of producing SCVs. He's not producing nearly what he needs to, and as you can see by that worker difference, it's pretty bad. He's getting a planetary fortress here, which is, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, you really want to have orbital command. It's not, especially in PvT, the planetary is not going to help you very much, especially at your natural. Maybe at the gold, maybe, but because he's, you know, already so behind, he needs to get ahead somehow, and the planetary is not going to do that. He needs those extra mules. And as we can see here down at my third, got a couple pylons, which I inadvertently made the biohazard symbol. So I fancy myself an artist, an in-game StarCraft 2 artist, in addition to being an awesome caster. Oh wait, I'm not an awesome caster. But as we can see here, I see his attack coming because of my observer, and so I sort of just pull back. You know, I didn't want to engage yet, especially because I didn't know exactly like how big his army was. So he sieges up here, and I just pulled back with my army. And just things going on as usual. I got double forge to get double upgrades. If you have lots of minerals, it's no problem to drop down 2 forges, so you can start those long-term upgrades early on. The upgrades are going to be pretty important in the length of a game. He scanned, picked off my observer, and so I sent my immortals out front to tank, you know, siege tank fire. But as his Hellions looped around, my immortals caught with them and sort of pushed them back. As you can see here, I just continue to warp in, and I'm almost maxed out, and he's not even at 100 supply yet. And he's also supply blocked, as am I. But he comes in, pushes in, and trying to pick off my Nexus, but I pushed out because I saw how small his force was, and I knew that it was going to be relatively easy to clean up his army. And I did. I just sent my Zealots out in front, except for, well, most of them. A lot of them were still derping around back here. It's something pretty important if you can, before a fight, or even when your army's just sitting outside your natural, just position your Zealots out front, or just do any sort of unit positioning while you don't have anything else to focus on. That way, when the attack comes, you can worry about just, you know, attacking and then continue your macro. And because my macro is slipping, I just dropped down a bunch of new gates. I wasn't ready for the massive economic hit that my third base was going to give me. And in retrospect, also, I should have also sent one of my probes up to build a proxy pylon, but because he was so far behind, it really didn't matter at this point. He tries to repair, but I just have too much. And it should be GG any moment. Yeah. So there you go. He left the game, and yeah. If we, what we can take from this is that you wanna be able to, if you're gonna planning on doing a timing, you want to hit around then. You don't want to add in, you know, a little bit extra, because that's gonna add to the problem of you attacking. You know, you're not gonna have the time right. He's gonna have enough time to defend, and you might have some more stuff, but he's also gonna spot what you're doing and counter it pretty effectively. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to keep up with me, please do. I'm sorry for that long, lengthy hiatus I took, but I'm back now, and I'm planning to do, you know, at least as much as I can with school and playing the game myself. I don't have as much time as I used to, but I'm planning to do at least a couple games every weekend. And so thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.